Do you ever feel like trying to improve your health just takes too much time? You would love to get healthier. You'd love to be able to improve your health, to improve your blood sugar, to lose weight, to reverse prediabetes. But you're really busy and these things just take too much time. Well, hey, if that's you, you are not alone. And today we're going to be talking about 5 tips for improving your health when you're really busy. Hey there, I'm Dr. Topher Fox, endocrinologist in Superior, Colorado. And today, again, we're talking about 5 tips for how to get improvements in your health when you are really busy. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Tip number 1 is to think about something called minimum effective dose or minimal effective dose. If you have limited time to be able to put effort forth to get results, and it's unfortunate, the simple fact is if you put 0 effort in, you're not going to get results. There's no way to get results without doing some degree of work. But if you have limited time, you want to be able to focus on those things that produce the biggest gain. So think of it as the 80-20 rule for your health. You want to do the 20% of things that produce the 80% of results. And now it might be different for each person. For you, it might be that you really need to make sure that you go shopping on the weekend so that you have healthy choices for your meals and snacks. It might be that you need to exercise in the morning and have that blocked out on your schedule so that that time doesn't get swept away. But you want to do those 20% of things that produce the 80% of results. So tip number 1, minimum effective dose. Tip number 2 is take small bites. Consistency is going to be key, and you don't have to work on everything. You don't have to improve everything all at one time. If you've been diagnosed with prediabetes, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I have to start exercising, I have to learn how to eat, I have to shop better, I have to prioritize my sleep, I have to do all of these different things. And of course, the goal over time is to make sure that you are improving, in particular, these 3 pillars of best metabolism, nutrition, movement, and sleep. But you don't have to do it all right now, today, at one time. You can pick one thing to focus on at a time and then look to make consistent improvements. So to make small nudges or upgrades that produce results for you. So it may be simply that right now you want to focus on having healthy breakfast. You're always getting breakfast on the run because you're late in the morning, and so you're driving through the drive-through and getting something maybe that's not the healthiest choice. So it may be that you want to focus on breakfast. It may be that you need to work on reducing friction for exercise, maybe to have things laid out, have your clothing laid out or your gym bag in the car so that that is easy to do. These 1% improvements, 1% nudges or upgrades are going to really produce results over time. Tip number 3 is to use this crazy simple thing called intention setting. Intention setting. It's actually been shown in studies that in the morning, if you think, or even better, if you write down in as much detail as possible where and when you're going to do that important thing. Go back to tip 1, that minimum effective dose, that 20%. If you're going to do 1 or 2 things today that are really key for your health, if you write down with as much detail as you can when and where you are going to do these things, you actually more than double your chance of successfully following through. So it would take a form of, I am going to go for a walk with Sally at 2 p.m. before I pick up my kids from school. Or it might be an if-then. If my mother-in-law calls and I'm feeling stressed, I'm going to go for a short walk, or I'm going to go make a cup of hot tea before I go into the kitchen, so that hopefully you're able to avoid stress eating. So tip number 3 is to think about intention setting. Tip number 4 is to do something called winning the moment. We all have this desire to do a certain set of things at the end of the day or by the end of the day. And often when we look at the end of our day, it's actually been something different. There's a gap between those 2 things. And so along the way, there was a moment where you were going to exercise, but you sat on the couch. Or you were going to eat a healthy dinner, big salad, quality protein, but instead you had a bunch of chips and cookies. whatever it is, that moment that you steered off track, that was the moment that, essentially you got derailed. So when you find that you're really busy and you have limited energy, right? We all have so much energy. When you have limited energy, you can ask yourself, hey, how can I win this moment right now? What would giving my best in this moment look like? And it might be that you can't hit perfect because you just don't have the energy or bandwidth to be able to do that. So maybe you had planned to go walk for an hour and you're not going to get that done. You don't have the time, you're feeling too stressed. It's just not going to happen. Maybe winning the moment in that particular time would be getting outside for 10 minutes. Maybe it would just be to go spend a little bit of time in nature and do some deep breathing so that you can refresh and recharge. But you can ask yourself, hey, what can I do right now in this moment? Some of our clients have liked this game called Better Than. Say that you are thinking about having the donut and you know that's not on your healthy eating plan, but you could ask, wow, gosh, I really feel like having this donut. Could I actually do something that's better than the donut? Maybe it's not perfect. Maybe it's a yogurt parfait that you purchase at Starbucks. You know, they have some added sugar. It's not a perfect food, but maybe it's better than the donut. It's winning that moment, lifting yourself up in that moment. Finally, tip number 5 is to think about building support. Finding support, in particular people around you who will lift you up, who will nudge and encourage you to do the healthy thing, to make the healthy choice rather than pull you away or pull you down away from that healthy choice. So look for ways that you can build a supportive community. It might mean joining an exercise class or a group or a team where the behavior that you want to do, the exercise, is the normal behavior. Maybe it's a group that likes to explore different vegetable dishes, right? You can think of lots of different ideas. Maybe there's a group, a support group that would just help to offer encouragement. It's a group of single moms who get together and talk about how they're doing life together. But find some way to support yourself or to lift yourself up. So again, 5 tips for how to actually get results, how to improve your health, how to control your blood sugar, hopefully how to reverse prediabetes if you are too busy. So number 1 was think about minimum effective dose. Number 2 was to take small bites, focus on one thing at a time. Number 3 was to use this thing called intention setting. Number 4 is to think about just winning the moment, particularly when you don't feel like doing the thing you know you're supposed to do. Think about winning the moment. And number 5 is to look for support or a supportive community. And so, hey, as we wrap up, I just want to say, if you like this kind of training, and in particular, if you are a woman 50 plus who's been diagnosed with prediabetes, we have a community, a supportive community, education and training that is built just for you. Recorded training, weekly live training and Q&A sessions with me and with my partner, nurse practitioner, Sarah Sato. You can always learn more at reversingprediabetes.com. reversingprediabetes.com. Your first month is always just $1. Hey, take care, and I wish you peace.